The FBI thanks area officers after a missing teen from Tennessee is located right here in Madison. We will have the latest details.
And a UW Health plastic surgeon is facing a lawsuit accused of inappropriately treating a female patient.
And with a warm-up expected this weekend, Madison is bracing now for the possibility of flooding. News 3 at 6 starts now.
This is News 3 at 6.
And thanks for joining us. A 14-year-old missing for nearly 2 weeks from Tennessee has been found safe here in Madison.
The FBI is thanking local agencies, including the Dane County Sheriff's Office and Madison Police Department, for helping find the teen. Our Madeline O'Neill has the latest.
The girl's parents last saw her January 13th at their Tennessee home. Now her adoptive father is being charged with rape. That came out yesterday, just hours before officials announced they found the missing teen here in Wisconsin.
Here we had 2 cases from around the country, both young girls recovered in Wisconsin.
About 3 weeks after 13-year-old Jamie Kloss escaped her kidnapper, another missing teen has been found safe in the state.
Out of the thousands that go missing, to have one who can be returned safely to their family is what this job is all about.
Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney says one of his detectives was assigned to the missing 14-year-old's case, working alongside state and federal investigators.
The more we can cooperate, the more when these cases occur, we know each other, we know our resources, and we can share in those resources to bring these kinds of positive outcomes.
The FBI tells us they're working to figure out if this was an abduction and just how the girl got from Madisonville, Tennessee to Madison, Wisconsin. Her family last saw her January 13th in their home.
It's just like losing your soul, and just part of you is gone.
This is video from the CBS affiliate in the area sitting down with her parents this past weekend.
Please come home.
Thursday, the same day the teen was found, her adoptive father, shown here, Randall Pruitt, was charged with rape. Probable cause documents show Pruitt's arrest stems from photos and videos taken on his cell phone.
I can't go into great detail on it. I can say that he was arrested and charged with rape. We don't believe at this time that he has any connections to her being a runaway or missing.
In Tennessee, Monroe County Sheriff Tommy Jones says there's a possibility that multiple charges will be filed against multiple people involved in this case. In the meantime, Sheriff Mahoney is grateful that another teen is off the missing list.
Makes me feel uplifted that we found a second child safe. It's a great way to start out the new year.
The FBI tells us the found teen is receiving victim support services. They're still conducting interviews and aren't releasing any more information today.
All right, Maddie O'Neill. Now, previously, News 3 named and showed the picture of the girl in this case. As people searched for her, we have decided to remove her name from our reporting to try to minimize any harm to her in this case. Meanwhile, Fitchburg police say they have also found the missing Fitchburg mother and her 9-month-old daughter, 24-year-old LaShawn Nicole Mitchell, and her daughter Serena Lachey. And her daughter, Serena, had been missing about a week. Police are not releasing much information this time. We do know, however, that they are both safe.
A UW Health plastic surgeon and his clinic are facing a lawsuit tonight, claiming medical malpractice after a patient says the doctor gave her breast implants larger than the ones she asked for. Adam Duxter joins us now. And Adam, this is not the first time the surgeon has been accused of misconduct.
No, Charlotte. The attorney representing the patient in this case told me that today is unlike anything he's seen before. A lawsuit filed today claims that Dr. John Siebert inappropriately treated a female patient over the course of several months, accusing him of medical negligence and sexual exploitation. Now, the suit claims Siebert placed breast implants into a female patient larger than what she requested in her consultation, and that Siebert showed negligence in care after the patient experienced complications following her breast augmentation and tummy tuck surgery.
I think a horrible wrong it's my opinion that a horrible wrong has been committed here, and I want to make that right. I think the main theme of this case is that medical healthcare providers have to be forthright with their patients and transparent about these types of things.
Now, Gingrich says that's because Siebert has faced sexual misconduct allegations in the past. And documents show in 2008 that the New York State Medical Board launched an investigation into alleged inappropriate conduct between Siebert and a married patient, saying that those actions showed a moral unfitness to practice. And that case was still open when UW Health hired Siebert in 2011. When the case closed, the ruling was that this surgeon had to have a chaperone present in the room anytime he took care of a female patient. And we contacted UW Health about that lawsuit, but they said that they can't comment on any pending litigation.
Okay, it's a story we will continue to follow. Adam, thank you.
All right, we turn to weather now. Our warm-up is finally here. Dave Caulfield has more details on it. Could have some complications, however, with that, Dave.
Yeah, temperatures will be in the 40s by later this weekend, Eric, and that could cause some rapid melting of the snow and also potentially some more water main breaks with the rapid fluctuation in temperatures. So hopefully not too many problems associated with this nicer, warmer weather on the way. But check this out. We were at this time yesterday at -6, and now we are at 13 degrees above zero. So about 20 degrees warmer basically across the board compared to this time yesterday for southern Wisconsin. 10 degrees right now in Monroe, 12 in Boscobel and Lone Rock. Still a bit of a breeze out there, so it does feel like the single digits pretty close to zero. But any improvement is a good improvement at this point, especially considering where we've been over the past few days. A live look in Madison, the clouds beginning to increase a little bit on the WISC-TV Skycam. A few flurries this morning, but Doppler track I think is going to remain pretty quiet tonight. Now, over the weekend, we could see some areas of fog and also some drizzle and freezing drizzle early tomorrow before the light rain moves in by Sunday and Monday, and some of that light rain could appear as early as tomorrow afternoon and evening with those temperatures close to 40. We'll talk about the chances of seeing the colder weather again next week and some accumulating snow in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you. As we mentioned, the city bracing for this major temperature swing this weekend. Flooding is a concern. The mayor's office and the streets division held a joint press conference today. Our Keely Arthur was there. She joined us now live with details. Keely?
Well, in the words of Mayor Paul Soglin, we're going to go from the freezer into the swimming pool as big piles of snow like that one here and all the other white stuff in Madison is going to melt, going right into those drains. Flooding is certainly now a concern.
Oh, we're loving the weather. Cars will actually start.
These three badgers basking in the sunny warmth after a few days in the frozen tundra.
You know, I try to stay inside as much as I can because it's so dang cold out, but weather's great today, so we're out and about.
A Friday grace period before we swing from one weather extreme to another.
So now we go from the freezer into the swimming pool.
Mayor Paul Soglin and Steve Schultz, the head of the Streets Division, held a joint news conference. Schultz says crews have spent the past few days removing as much ice and snow as possible. But now with temperatures increasing above freezing, the focus is flooding.
As the 20,000 drains leading into our storm sewers are confronted with the snow and packed ice and the melting and possibly rain that we may see in the next 2.5 days.
All areas of the city are considered vulnerable, not just low-lying ones, as issues will arise anywhere drains get clogged.
But you may be a third of the way down the hill, and if there's an obstruction in a dam at that point, you can be affected.
Contact engineering because they do have a 24-hour number that you can call in case we have a problem.
Officials also want you to make sure your drains are turned away from your home. If you have sandbags, keep them put. Any other advice?
Be prepared for the weather, and if you're driving, I guess, just, you know, either bring an extra pair of socks for your shoes or, you know, just you gotta stay dry.
Wear your galoshes, your rubber boots, whatever it is you wear when it rains, and 2 pair of socks.
Another big concern, broken water mains. We saw many of them with the polar vortex we dealt with earlier this week. Now as temperatures rise, water mains could also break as well. So just be extra on top of everything, even though you might be enjoying the warmer weather.
All right, Keely Arthur live on the Capitol Square. Keely, thank you.
UW-Madison Police Department and UW facilities responded to a water main break at the chemistry building on campus earlier today. Officials evacuated the building and it's closed until further notice. classes held in the building were also canceled as well. This month's storms and cold weather are putting a strain on Red Cross's blood supply. Several blood drives were canceled because of the severe weather. The agency has issued an emergency call for donors. The Red Cross strives to have a 5-day supply of blood, but currently there is less than a 3-day supply of most blood types on hand. We have ways you can help out on our website, channel3000.com.
The Madison School District making up for some lost time after multiple weather-related cancellations this week. So February 8th, that's next Friday, initially supposed to be a staff-only day. It will now be a full school day for students as well. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction requires schools to provide a specific number of instructional minutes, and due to the cancellations this week, they are short on the required number.
The Zac Brown Band is coming to Milwaukee as part of Summerfest. The band will headline on June 30th. Tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. Friday, February 8th on Summerfest's website. Ticketmaster Summerfest pre-sale is February 7th.
And when it comes to the Super Bowl, Wisconsin fans, they're pretty split on who they will root for Sunday. Sports Illustrated and PC Mag teamed up to survey hundreds of fans here in Wisconsin. About 32% will root for the Rams, another 32% rooting for the Patriots. Nationally, 22 states are backing the Rams, while only 15 want another win for Tom Brady. Just a reminder, you can catch the Super Bowl right here on News 3 this Sunday. Be sure to stick with us after the game for a very special edition of your late local news.
Hmong students at UW-Madison say they are tired of being invisible.
When they are discussing the challenges they face on campus. That story next at 6. Hmong students at UW-Madison say they feel invisible.
Several students made a point today to express how Hmong American students feel excluded and discriminated against. Jamie Perez shares their stories.
This story might not be something you usually think about, but I guess that's kind of the point. At least it's one of the points these students wanted to make.
UW-Madison as an institution is excluding and unwelcoming, especially to Hmong American students.
Paku Zhang is a Hmong American student here at UW-Madison. She's one of reportedly many who feel the same way that she does.
The university needs to address the racial inequalities that are happening here as well.
Pengzu Lee is another vocal activist who says the university needs to address the racial inequalities happening on campus.
This invisibility is preventing Hmong American students from being successful.
The students found that Hmong American students make up the largest portion of the Asian population here at 36%. And they pointed out some interesting things they found from a study they did. All the areas circled on this campus map show where many school events happen, and also where many Hmong Americans avoid, saying they feel marginalized here.
Hmong American students are excluded in many spaces of the iconic Badger experience.
Here's what one student said during their study, that white people have a place all over campus versus students of color who have the red gym, their friends' houses, and certain classes that focus on ethnic studies. Do we have welcoming spaces? Yes. Welcoming people? Yes. But as a whole, no.
It is not a story of its own. It is a part of a larger Bandao. It is the continuation of our family's trauma, displacement, and resilience.
Students and faculty said they admired the students' advocacy for wanting to make Hmong American students feel more comfortable on campus, thankful for bringing to light a new perspective on how the campus as a whole can work together and move forward. In Madison, Jamie Perez, WISC News 3.
This presentation was based on student-led research at UW-Madison.
Still ahead, a decades-old tradition returns to Lake Mendota.
The story behind this Lady Liberty, next at 6.
Gary Canolti at the Scenic RV Flagstaff fifth wheeler. This is a place where you want to be this weekend. If you're thinking for some warm thoughts after that bitter Arctic blast, I'm at the Madison Camper and RV Show. I'll have more details in a few minutes.
A decades-old tradition is back up on Lake Mendota.
The Wisconsin Union brought back its Lady Liberty statue as part of the annual Winter Carnival. You can see the statue until 9 o'clock tonight and tomorrow from 9:30 to 4:30.
All right, we got a weather warm-up of sorts. You know, it certainly feels better after what we've dealt with the last few days. We got Gary jumping out of campers this weekend down at the Alliant Energy Center.
Could it feel any worse? I mean, after the cold weather we've gone through, but you're right. I mean, this is the place to be, the Madison Camper and RV Show. We have it every year at this time, and, you know, the timing is perfect. We're coming out of that bitterly cold Arctic blast, and now We've got a mile's worth of campers and RVs lined up end to end at the Alliant Energy Center. With a little more information on that at the end. But take a look at this temperature trend. We go from temperatures that were 20 to 30 below zero to temperatures that are going to be between 40 and almost 45 or more degrees above zero. So that's just over the span of a few days. That could lead to some problems with snow melt, but there's still a fair amount of snow out there. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison shows pretty quiet conditions here. We're at our high temperature for the day of 15 after starting out at 6 degrees below zero, but our temperatures have been pretty much steady or rising for much of the day. Right now, the temperature is at 13, but we'll probably see that temperature start rising before too long and actually end up somewhere close to 25 by tomorrow morning. Snow depth you can see across the Midwest. The thickest snow depth is actually in the southern part of the state, the least amount of snow in northern Wisconsin, but that's what's keeping our weather cold for the time being. Until we melt some of that snow, we can't get a more appreciable warm up. Otherwise, as we go ahead and take a look at our forecast, there's low temperatures from this morning. You can see single digits and teens below zero, but we're going to improve. So our forecast for tonight calls for a low of 14 this evening and rising temperatures. For tomorrow, our high temperature is going to top out at 39. Now, we could see a little freezing drizzle in the morning. That will change to drizzle as temperatures get above freezing. We'll also see some areas of fog. On future track, things very quiet other than the fog and the drizzle. No heavy precipitation in the short term, but those temperatures will continue to rise through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. And then into Sunday, temperatures will be in the middle 40s with some off and on rain showers. The 7 to 10 day forecast keeps us mild from Monday, but a cold front will come through in the afternoon. Temperatures will actually start to fall off Monday afternoon, and then more seasonable temperatures with some snow chances the middle of next week, followed by sunshine and temperatures a little colder than normal at the end of next week, but not bitterly cold like we've seen before. Now, as we take a look at some information on the Madison Camper and RV Show, it runs tonight till 9 o'clock. Tomorrow it runs from 10 to 8, and on Sunday from 10 to 4. Admission is $9, but seniors can get in for half price today, all the way up through 9 o'clock. Children are free with a paid adult. And like I say, I mean, we've got literally a mile's worth of campers and RVs that are set up behind us end to end through the Alliant Energy Center. This Falstaff fifth wheeler here will set you back about $42,000 with the sales price, but I'll tell you, it's very nice on the inside. A good place to stay warm, especially as we start getting into the spring and summer. But first we have to get past our cold weather. Fortunately, it looks like we'll see at least an improvement in that later on this weekend and into the early part of next week. We'll be right back.
Tonight, the Badgers have won 4 in a row since losing in Maryland almost 3 weeks ago. Their last win was Saturday against Northwestern, and after every win, they try to move on and not get fat and happy over a winning streak.
The biggest thing for us is that we don't want any complacency to spread throughout the team. That started with our lift and then into our film session and then into practice. So I think we've done a good job of it so far. Not riding that win too long. That ended the night of the game. So now it's on to the next one.
2 days until Super Bowl 53. The Rams and Patriots will kick off Sunday afternoon at 5:30 here on Channel 3. Former Badger James White will have a chance to have another big game like he did, scoring the winning touchdown a couple years ago against the Falcons. Last year, Corey Clement could have been the Super Bowl MVP for the Eagles, too. Now, Thomas Hammock was the running backs coach who got it all started for them at UW before moving on. He was just named head coach in Northern Illinois. White says Hammock's style of coaching combined with the players' execution is why guys like him have been able to adjust to the NFL game and flourish in it.
Just being challenged there by all the coaches, learning as much as I could. I mean, Thomas Hammock, I got to give him like a huge credit. He just got the NIU job, the head coach job there. I mean, he challenged us as running backs, learning the formations, the plays, learning what everybody else is doing. And I think that helped me out a lot because once I got here, you were asked to do the same thing. So it didn't take me too long to kind of learn the playbook after going through that.
Matt LaFleur's Packers coaching staff is nearly complete. Today, Sean Menengah is named special teams coach. Menengah was the special teams coach with the Cleveland Browns for 7 years before spending last season at Vanderbilt University. The Packers special teams were ranked last in the NFL last season under Ron Zook, so apparently there's nowhere to go but up. Steve Stricker's weekend at the Phoenix Open will be a short one. Stricker shot even par 71 today to finish the first 2 rounds at 1 over par, and that will just miss the cut. Stricker says he's going to play a few more PGA Tour events, especially early in the season, to see how his game stacks up at age 53. The next Prep Mania game of the week is Tuesday night when Monroe, ranked 10th in the state in Division II, plays at second-ranked Winona Grove. We'll see UW recruit Sydney Hilliard and Iowa recruit McKenna Warnock. That's Tuesday night, 7:15, live on channel3000.com. Last night at the Spurs-Nets game in San Antonio, they had a delay suddenly. Took a while for some to figure out that 4 bats were flying around on the court. Now, not everyone is real pleased about bats being in their personal space, so they stopped the game to try to figure out how to A, capture the bats, or B, chase them from the court. They even brought out a guy with a big net to try to catch him. But alas, he was unsuccessful. Eventually, the bats flew back up into the rafters and the game resumed. Now, almost 10 years ago, Manu Ginobili swatted a bat with his bare hand in a similar situation in the same arena and had to get 16 shots to make sure he didn't have rabies.
No, thank you.
What's worse, bats or rats?
I'm surprised that the Brooklyn players didn't try and help out because they're the Nets.
Here it comes.
They're the Nets. More Nets, they would help out. I don't know.
You have an audience back.
Yeah, exactly. Baseball. Yeah. Well, we tried to catch these warmer temperatures, and I think that we did it into this weekend. So Nets helped out there, I guess. 13 right now in Madison, 12 in Lone Rock, and 12 in Boscobel. That's still about 20 degrees warmer compared to where we were yesterday. So it just gives you a sense of how far we've come, and temperatures staying near 40 for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with a chance of some fog, some drizzle, and as we get into next week, some accumulating snow by Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Have a great evening. We'll see you here at 10.